You know what's really annoying? The lack of privacy online these days. Log on to the internet and you're like, I'm gonna stream The Acolyte and I'm not gonna let anybody know I enjoy this new Star Wars show. Just as an example, I'm not saying that I do that. Someone out there knows absolutely everything you do online. Your internet service provider. You need private internet access, the world's most transparent VPN provider. So if you don't know what a VPN is, it's an app that hides your IP address and safeguards your internet connection through an encrypted tunnel. And speaking of The Acolyte, you ever feel like you've streamed every show out there and you're all out of options? Lots of titles are only available in certain regions. Private internet access works with all major streaming services so that you can access more content than ever before anywhere in the world. Private internet access is really easy to use. There are apps available for all operating systems, and one subscription can be used to protect an unlimited amount of devices at the same time. Head to piavpn.com/thebabylonbee and get an 83% discount. That's just $2.03 a month. And you also get 4 extra months completely free. But you must go to piavpn.com/thebabylonbee for a truly private digital life. Don't watch porn with it.
The Babylon Bee Podcast.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Babylon Bee Podcast, the only podcast that covers the news. I'm Kyle Mann, and this is how I talk. How are you, Jarrett?
I'm great.
Great.
This is how I talk.
So back in the day when me and Ethan filmed our first test run of this podcast, I had never hosted a podcast before. This is one we didn't release. This was like a pilot we were testing things on, and I talked like.
You mean like a normal person?
I was like, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Babylon Bee Podcast.
It was like the NPR version of the Babylon
we
Bee.
showed it to Seth, and he was like, this is good. You guys have good chemistry together, and it's funny. He's like, can you just talk like normal, though?
Can you do that voice the whole time?
Sure, absolutely.
I
definitely think
high
you
energy.
should break into it once in a while.
Yeah.
I think high energy Kyle.
High
is
energy
good, though.
Kyle,
That's
but
kinda
not
like
fake a voice.
It works. It works.
Anyway, this is Travis.
Hi, I'm Travis.
Hi.
Hi.
You mouth that, and I will put my words in.
Yeah. Can we do that again? That was fun.
And then we're hanging out with Joshua Weigel.
Weigel.
That's the question.
Thank you very much.
Why go?
He's director of the new
Good to
movie
be here.
Sound of Hope, the story of Possum Trot.
Possum Trot.
So
Trot.
you might be listening, you might hear that and say, Sound of Hope. Like Sound of Freedom? Like what's a possum?
Yeah.
You know,
The possum
A
part.
lot
is-
of things come to mind.
Song of
there's
freedom of hope.
What's trotting?
so we had no idea who this guy was until he knocked on the door and said, oh, I have this new movie. Can I be on your podcast? And we said, sure.
Yeah, why not?
So what we decided to do was we went to various AI engines online and we asked them what the movie Sound of Hope was about.
Oh, nice.
And we just fed them the title. If there was a movie called Sound of Hope, what would it be about? And here's
gonna be
what
good.
came back. So ChatGPT said Sound of Hope could be a heartwarming drama centered around the transformative power of music. There's a down-and-out musician who discovers a deaf child with an extraordinarily musical talent. And they possess a unique ability to feel and interpret vibrations in such a way that
Already
they can
better
play
than what we
musical
did. Oh my
instruments.
gosh.
Exceptional skill. And then the musician takes on the role of mentor. They help the child navigate the challenges of their disability. And then it would also include subplots involving the musician's own redemption as they regain their passion for music through teaching and overcome their own personal demons. And in the climax of the movie, there's a grand musical performance where the child's talent is finally showcased to the world, bringing them acclaim and transforming the lives of
I
all.
mean, it's crazy because that's exactly what the movie is.
Whoa.
That's exact. Of course, we put that in before we wrote the screenplay, and
Wow.
I guess it's redundant. I don't know.
But we didn't think this was exciting enough, so then we asked ChatGPT to add robots.
Oh, good.
So Travis, do you want to...
Should have thought of that.
Yeah, so adding robots to the plot of Sound of Hope could introduce a fascinating blend of human emotion and futuristic technology, transforming the movie into a sci-fi drama. Here's how the story might evolve. In a near-future world where robots and humans coexist, the story follows a washed-up musician named Alex who discovers an abandoned robot designed to teach music. Named Echo, this robot possesses
that's
advanced
good.
AI capable of understanding and creating music, but it's uniquely programmed to interact and adapt to the emotional responses of its students.
What is love?
Wasn't there a robot movie with a robot
kind of
called Echo
metaphor.
already? Earth to Echo? Was the robot's name? I know there was a movie called Earth to Echo, like a Disney
There
movie.
was, or something.
But I don't know if Echo was the...
I'm blanking.
Echo's
on that.
in the name of some movie my kids liked.
But I don't know if it was a robot.
Yeah.
Echo was
It
a
an alien
dolphin.
robot.
Echo was a dolphin, but if you wanted to have a robot Echo, it could be Echo 5 or Echo 10. Echo.
Did we add anything else? It's kind of getting...
Yeah, so the subplot is interesting. It explores the ethical implications of AI in the arts and prejudices against robots.
It's definitely taking over the world. Look at that.
Prejudice.
It's already getting angry at us.
Is there another
What
one?
did Google Gemini say?
Okay, Google Gemini said, all right, this is it. In a remote village nestled in the Himalayas known for its breathtaking beauty and near silence,
Silence.
as a consequence of a generations-old conflict with the neighboring valley.
Okay, and they even give us some characters.
Here's some characters. Pima, a young woman with a natural musical talent, yearning to break the silence. Tenzin, a wise old villager who remembers the time before the conflict and a vibrant music that fills the valley.
I remember the before times.
And then Lakpa, a stern village elder, determined to uphold the tradition of silence.
Sounds like a Rush song.
We must not break the
But
silence.
he just gestures like,
Yeah.
he doesn't say no. He's just like,
And here's the B line. It would be, in a silent Himalayan village, a young woman rediscovers music, forbidden due to past conflict. Her melodies spark a movement, leading the village to use music to bridge the divide with the neighboring valley and find hope for a peaceful
great.
future.
all right, well, my favorite one was Grok. Sound of Hope sounds like a heartwarming drama about a deaf child who rediscovers the power of music through vibrations and goes on to become a world-renowned composer. Was there a movie called Sound of Hope that had this plot? Because the AI just seems to be doing. And then it says, or it could be a documentary about a group of scientists using whale songs to communicate with extraterrestrial life
Whale
forms
songs.
in search of a message of peace. Who knows? Maybe it's a comedy about a mime who accidentally joins a heavy metal band and ends up saving the world with their silent charisma.
Who knows?
The possibilities are endless, just like my wit.
Classic Grok.
So, Josh, which one of these is the actual?
The last one's not confident enough. It didn't commit.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, it could be about this. It could be
Or
about
I go to AI to get a clearer answer. I mean, it wants
But it's
to do
witty.
three
It told
things,
you so.
know.
A
That's
mime
true.
who joins a heavy metal
I
band.
guess the
Sounds
movie
pretty
could
good.
be that. Could
And then
just
we
be all
had
over
Bing
the-
actually create some movie posters for us. So this is the Sound of Hope.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
Dan,
The
Dan,
dog.
Dan, go back up. I want to see the credits for the movie poster.
Oh, no. the
It
next
stars Jopel Iernke, Harriapide, Kabula, Dampener, and Sparope.
one. Sparrow Pay.
That's
man.
good. I like
Where do
that
they
one.
hail from? That's
But
There's
then we-
a seagull on there.
we
There's a
didn't-
seagull.
We didn't feel like this was exciting enough, so we had to add dinosaurs.
Sound a dinosaur movie.
I like that it
The
didn't
next
quite
chapter
understand the
of
assignment, and it was
Jurassic.
like, well, I can just
Yeah.
make some dinosaurs and put the word Sound of Hope on it.
It's the inspirational.
Dude, look at that
Jurassic
kid on the
Park. I
right.
get it.
Look at the kid on the right
And
there.
then there's two kids in a classroom.
Josh,
that are like,
would you have cast that
Dang,
kid?
that's wow.
What is
Feeling
going
less
on
hopeless. I don't think so.
here? So really, what is Sound of Hope about, sir?
Well, now it's going to be really boring. What have we done?
It's not
It's not a
boring at all.
comedy.
Really set you up.
Well, you know, it's so the real story, true story, happened in East Texas. Started in about 1997. So a woman named Donna Martin lost her mom and kind of went into depression. And long story short, she came out of that compelled to begin adopting kids. She felt like God said, go and give back. And the kids who have nobody, I want you to begin adopting. So they did. They didn't know anything about it. She and her husband, Reverend Martin, he's now Bishop Martin, began doing this, and then they ended up rallying another 22 families in their church to begin adopting kids. And by the end of it, which is only a few years in, they adopted 77 kids out of the foster system. And they asked for the ones that nobody wanted. So they didn't ask for the little babies, and it wasn't about that. It wasn't about growing families. It was about dealing with a real problem. So it's a pretty intense story, you know, because a lot of these kids came out of pretty severe abuse, and many of them were just large sibling sets that they didn't want to break up and cause more trauma. So pretty remarkable story. Just a everyday little corner community that you'd find pretty much anywhere in the South that did this unbelievable thing, and it hit the news. Shortly after, they ended up on Good Morning America and Oprah. I mean, it just, you know, people could tell there's something crazy about this that was going on. And it had a huge impact in that arena. You know, people who were in that space, fostering and adopting, we all kind of heard there's somewhere out there, there's this community that, you know, adopted all of these children. And it was a huge inspiration.
You said we. So that means you're an adopted family. You guys have adopted kids?
Yeah. So I work with my wife. My wife, Rebecca, and I produced and wrote together, and I directed the movie. And so we we adopted 2 of our kids a little before we began sort of considering this story. We'd kind of known about it, but Rebecca did a lot of work in Los Angeles with churches and really trying to get churches more involved in fostering and adopting. So she came across Bishop Martin's story and his preaching. He's unbelievable. I mean, just a dynamic powerhouse. And so she had him come out to speak at an event. And we totally hit it off and just felt like, all right, we need to put everything else to the side. This story is important. Something's pulling us in. So we had no money. It was all on spec. We just felt compelled to do this and began writing it together. And that's sort of the beginning of it. So we came from our own experiences and then all the work Rebecca had done in the Los Angeles area and the power of this story, just feeling this need to revive it, because it had been a little while.
Wow.
I like this trend of movies that are just about something good and positive. That's like, I don't know, it feels like a lot of times conservatives, and I don't know if you identify as a conservative or whatever, but faith-based films or conservative films, it's always like either some controversial culture war thing that we want to get involved in, or just a really cheesy, like, here's this pastor that's trying to hold this small town church together. And,
right. I know. I don't get it. I don't get the choices.
It's like something like adoption that has kind of a universal power to it that everybody can understand the power of that story.
Yeah.
It seems like it's, awesome.
I think it's something about kids, that our hearts go out to them just hearing a story. And in fact, that's what got me. I mean, I took the story in. It took me a little while to feel like, okay, let's do this as a movie, because he's got 77 kids, 22 families. That's over 100 people. How are you going to find this story that actually captures that? Because it could easily become about the pastor and his wife and become this little sweet faith-based movie, which I have no interest in. Personally, it's fine, but it's like what kind of hooks you is that all these people did this thing, and they weren't a bunch of like college professors. I mean, these are like average people, and that's what's incredible about it. I think you're right. Our hearts go out to kids who are suffering. When I heard these kids' stories, I mean, I was just, it just leveled me. I'm like, we can't just stand by and do what we've been doing. It hasn't been working. Because there's what I should say is there's a crisis going on right now that people don't really know about. We know in the back of our minds there's a foster system, and we kind of are scared of it. That's where bad kids are and brokenness is, and it's going to ruin me. And so we sort of leave it to others. But it's in everybody's life. When you drive by a homeless person, 50% of those people have spent time in the foster system. And when you think about the prison population, there's all this talk about, the prisons are exploding, and, 70% of those people had spent time in the foster system. And then Sound of Freedom last year, they highlight child trafficking, which is what drew us to Angel Studios. They're releasing this movie. And because we felt like people were so moved by that. I don't know if you guys saw, but it was like, we have got to do something about this. Is the worst evil there is. And so we talked to them about that, and we're like, look, this is connected to the foster system. And depending on what study you're looking at, 70 to 90% of the kids trafficked come from the foster system in America. And I'm talking about the kids in America. So when you deal with that, when you know about that and you deal with that issue, I mean, you are hitting all of these areas at the same time and cutting off kind of like the supply line to these terrible things.
So that's your hope, probably, to awaken maybe the church to do something about this issue. Because it is something that if the church really took it on for real, it would it could really change the world.
And part of it is that it was a church. It was this community. So it's a very small community. There's probably a few hundred people in the region. It's not even a town. It's just a country region. A lot of close-knit community there. So they had that, but they had the church, and that's where this all, like the ground zero of it was Bennett Chapel Church that goes back generations. And so there was all this strength in that. I think that's why they were able to do that. I mean, there were many times where when families were struggling, they would just share the load. And some of the kids would be taken over to the Martin's house for a little while to give that family a break, and, just wrestling through, making sure that it worked. So we feel that way. It's like, that's the model. And there's nothing like the church in terms of its network, in terms of its what it's supposed to be and is, that family nature of it. the community nature of it. Even when you leave a church, like you go to another one and there's this connectedness to it. And it's global, but if you just think of America, it's connected in America like nothing else. And we all kind of want, if you're in church, we all kind of want it to work that way, want it to be family. So if we're gonna deal with things, it's best to do them in that environment and from that place, and especially when you're raising children, because family is so critical to that working, and you've got the nuclear family, and then you got beyond that. And so you deal with this problem as a church, you will end it overnight. We just have to step up and like really know about it, learn about it, figure out where we fit in.
How did you get into directing, movie making?
Yeah.
We have some history.
That's fine. It's true. Oh. You didn't know this. Yeah. You didn't know this, but so Jared and I surprised you, I think, when I just walked up. I'm like, we know it. How's it going, man? And you're like, what? No, we did a short film together. We acted. You still act, and I do a little bit of that, but I'm
acting right now.
Yeah, that's true. You're quite different out there.
We can't trust you at all.
So anyway, I knew from an early age what I wanted to do. I was probably 12 years old when I knew I wanted to make movies. And so, but I was in Arizona in like the desert and a mobile home, in the middle of nowhere, just feeling as far as you can feel from that kind of work. So it was faith, I just felt like that's what God wanted me to do, and set my sights on it. And over time, when I got married, Rebecca was super supportive of it, but it wasn't her thing. She was in psychology and getting her master's degree and all this. But we started writing short films together, kind of out of necessity at first, because our first one was okay, and then the second one I worked on, I'm thinking back to the first one, and she's giving me all these good ideas, even though she wasn't involved. I'm like, dang, she's got something here. And so we did several more together. And then it just took off. Our last short film took off. It's called The Butterfly Circus, and it went viral online.
That had Nick
Vujicic.
Yep. Who is the
No Arms and Legs.
No Arms and Legs. What
evangelist, motivational speaker. Yeah,
I've seen him around. He's awesome.
Yeah,
really
so
cool.
he stars in it. So it's that one's about a guy with no arms and legs who flees the sideshow world to join up with something like Cirque du Soleil. It's a Depression era circus film, which we began working on the feature length version of that after it went viral, and had amazing things happening and got really close. And we'll probably do that next. That's probably going to be our next one. But that's the one we put to the side for this one. And so I'd been doing some acting, but really, the day job to pay the bills, I didn't want to get swallowed up by this business. So I was doing art directing and production design on commercials, sort of to make a living. So
anything I would have seen?
Yeah. We did a few Super Bowl commercials way back.
Doritos.
The guy who, let's see, there's so many of them. In fact, they cut the one that was the best. It was about this sinking ship. And you come in, this storm's happening, and they walk by a refrigerator of Bud Light, and that's the thing that they have to save because the ship is sinking. Wow. No one would do that anymore. They would just leave it. But now, they had to back then. Yeah. And a ship actually sunk somewhere in the Mediterranean or something at this time, so they never aired that one. I think they pushed it to the basketball.
Because Bud Light sunk. And so
Bud Light then.
Bud Light on a sinking ship. Interesting. Oh, what are your top 5 favorite movies?
Dang.
You have 10 seconds.
Okay, so Shawshank Redemption for sure, top number 1 spot. I mean, I share it. Sometimes that changes, but
that's a good one.
Unbelievable.
And you're out of time.
Okay. At least I got that out.
Mm-hmm.
Raiders. I mean,
of course.
I love all these classics, The Godfather, of course. I'm going to forget some of the more unique ones. I love, like in comedy, Nacho Libre is sort of the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
Top.
That's a good one.
Top spot there. Maybe Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that's one I haven't heard of in a long time. I love that movie.
Now there's a name I've not heard.
Yes, wow, in a long time.
Yes. Star Trek reference.
I probably owe you one more, but
No, I think it was fine.
You get it.
So,
yeah.
So you weren't involved in the production of Sound of Freedom, but Sound of Hope's being almost pitched as like a spiritual successor in a way, even though it's a different area, but it's part of like another children's
part of the Sound franchise.
Yeah, so
it's gonna be a whole sound thing.
What's next?
How did that come about? Like, was that just a purely marketing decision?
Well, look, it was So spiritually, yes,
Yeah.
it's totally connected. And then in terms of the cause, it's correlated so strongly. I mean, it is a powerful correlation. So I remember I was in the theater watching Sound of Freedom going, dang, this is amazing and sad, and we must do something. And my wife was talking to someone right before the movie started, and our movie came up and foster care and all that. Well, the Sound of Freedom ends, and everyone's sitting there like, we have to do something. And this woman stands up and starts talking about how we need to foster kids and adopt kids. And it was this riveting moment of people needing to respond, but not knowing how. And so that stuck in our minds. We're like, this issue is connected. We know that. Let's see if we can kind of parlay all of that awareness that was raised through Sound of Freedom, which is phenomenal. And for those who really want to do more directly, let's give them a path. So we kind of came up with this anthology idea. It's not going to feel like Sound of Freedom, but it's connected to the same issue. It does happen to be the same time, but that's really not the point. It's just really the...
Well, I was thinking you could tie them together in like a kind of a multiverse. And then like after the credits, it's like, oh, he showed up. He's from Sound of Freedom.
So does Jim
I think we should definitely bring it all
Like
together
a Nick
in the
Fury
next
that
one.
calls everybody, like I'm putting together a team, and then you have...
I like
We
it.
did talk about maybe we should shoot some more scenes. Maybe Jim
Sound
could be back
Avengers.
there somewhere, adopting a child or
The Sound
something.
Avengers.
Well, best of luck with the movie. That's awesome. And when does it come out?
So July 4th is the official opening. You can see it July 3rd, but it's going to be all over the nation July 4th. I think over 2,000 screens. So,
Very cool.
you know how it is. Go see it.
All right.
It's an independent film. We're up against big boys,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's moving.
May it-
Especially on July 4th.
May
That's
it
like-
absolutely crush Sound of Freedom,
Come on.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
go.
our hope.
which already crushed
That's
it.
the
in a
sound
good way. Crush
of
it
my
good.
hope.
Crush it well
Yeah.
in a beautiful way, because it's definitely an amazing film. We can keep going.
I had one more question, if I may.
No, we're done, man.
All right, so here we
Well,
go.
all right. So just peeking behind the curtain a little bit. Obviously, on the trailer, we see kids in distress, and there's some crying and stuff. I've always wondered how
That was in the script. Kids in distress,
There's
crying
kids
and
crying.
stuff.
There's kids
stuff.
crying.
that's on the ratings.
That's
That's the
rated PG.
That was the stage
For kids
direction.
crying and stuff.
So I've always wondered how directors get such convincing performances out of kids. Like, do you just make them cry? Like, I'm going to take your toys away or something.
I've got them by my hand out of frame, just
Just
squeezing.
pinching their leg.
Pinching the leg.
Where's the tears? No, it's all about the casting. I mean, you got to find kids that can go there. And it's
Get
really
actors, it's
tough
tough.
right now because every audition is recorded. You get these video auditions.
Yeah.
and so that kid could have been working for 3 hours and crying because they're bored to death and want mom to stop. You just don't know. And so
Yeah.
you really try to see a variety.
Parents could have been the one.
They could have been
pinching their
pinching them or threatening them or who knows what. But, you try your best to get it in the audition stage and then get them on set. And I'm really, having acted and because as a director, that's such an important thing that the performance is everything. So I just try to make sure everything's revolves around that. Get the set the way it needs to be for the actor to do what they need to do. And these actors, I'm telling you, they just blew this whole thing up. It's so amazing.
So
and
cool.
all these test screenings are happening or were happening before this. And it's riveting. I mean, audiences are truly unsettled in a good way, like moved somehow. It's really incredible as a filmmaker to step back and go, it feels beyond me.
It's crazy.
Something's going on.
Cool.
But no dinosaurs.
No dinosaurs.
Okay.
Maybe robots in the third. I could talk about that. Now, the sound part, that was
The sound.
Angel Studios' idea to connect it with the title.
Looking forward to the sound of technology.
Yeah, that's next, right?
Sound of Tech. Put that in the mix.
No, that's very interesting. So do you feel like as a director and an actor, you kind of have an insight into how to direct actors because you've been an actor yourself?
It's so helpful.
It's funny, the show that we were in together,
Yeah.
you and I, it was shot years ago, many, many years ago. It's so old that I have a VHS copy of it.
How old is it?
It's
Can you Google what is
on
VHS?
There were dinosaurs.
Like I had to get a VHS.
I do too. I've got that
From
packed up
the
somewhere.
director. Yeah, I had a VHS from her.
It's so different. I can imagine what you guys do and what we can do today is unbelievable.
My son, my 8-year-old, was reading a Calvin and Hobbes comic the other night for bed, and he comes into my room. He goes, "Dad, what's a VCR?"
Yeah.
And there was some joke about it.
I love that your kids read that. My Owen reads.
It was my son
Hobbes.
Calvin, actually.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
All right, well, everybody go check out Sound of Hope, or you hate kids.
All right, folks, you're not going to like this. If you think you're prepared, take note from millennials and Generation Z. I hate to admit it, but they're doing something right. Research shows they're more prepared than other generations, from their saving accounts to their emergency stockpiles. You have no excuse. If you're not preparing, you're failing. Get started with My Patriot Supply. Since 2008, My Patriot Supply has helped millions of Americans gear up for emergencies. Today, their popular 4-week emergency food kits can't stay out of customers' carts. Get yours right now at the Babylon Bee's website, preparewithbee.com. That's preparewithbee.com. Each food kit offers over 2,000 calories every day. Plus, with ultra-durable 4-layer packaging, it lasts up to 25 years in storage. Order as many kits as you need and save $50 on each one. Free shipping is included. If even the younger ones can sense that something is coming, you know it must be coming soon. You have no time to waste. Stock up on these essential food kits at preparewithbee.com. That's preparewithbee.com.
Now we're going to go. This episode was recorded after the debate. So we're going to comment on it. The Trump-Biden debate. We're gonna
wow, that
comment
was...
on everything that happened.
Yeah.
So let's
So
all just
great.
go around and we could just say our favorite things that happened in the debate. My favorite part was when Biden stumbled over his words a little bit.
I would say my favorite part was when Trump insulted Biden directly to his face, and
classic.
also insulted the person running the debate.
Classic.
I thought it was a little strange that Jake Tapper eventually said, "I'm sorry that I called you Hitler" to Trump.
Yeah, I didn't. That was unexpected.
Yeah, but good for him.
Mhm.
Good for him.
Yeah, that was a powerful moment.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan of just the camera being on Biden.
Yeah.
It's just fascinating. The whole, if they just would do that, they don't even need Trump. Just
Yeah.
that would be the argument.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, he's just he's so fascinating to watch.
Yeah, when he started eating that invisible ice cream cone, I mean,
It was hard to tell what he was doing at first.
yeah.
But then after a while, we kind of got it that it was, oh, it's an invisible ice cream.
When Biden said that he was dissolving Congress and he said, "I am the Senate," I thought that was a little on the nose, but
I am the Senate. It's terrible.
Yeah, and his voice changed.
And then he
can you
turned to
direct
Trump.
him?
Okay, this time.
Notes.
Any notes? Or a director.
I liked when Biden was trying to talk and Trump was doing this on the other screen.
And he was saying false. He kept saying that. False.
False.
Yeah, I mean, they cut his mic during that, but
You could tell he was saying
you could
false.
tell.
You still heard it.
Yeah,
Wrong.
We all hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, they were trying to be unbiased, but the fact that they put a swastika on Trump's podium.
Yeah, they superimposed one with green
That
screen
felt
on his
a little-
forehead.
yeah.
Remember
I was confused by the orange jumpsuit.
yeah.
No?
because
On which guy?
well, it showed up more. They maybe
Suits.
like adjusted
Oh.
the color when it was on Trump, but it was very orange,
Yeah.
very orange.
Well, you can't even
and
see him when
very
he's
distracting.
in the orange jumpsuit because,
I thought it was really sad when they had to change Biden's diaper in the middle.
this when the pit crew comes out.
The pit crew came out. There
I mean, it was impressive how fast.
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool.
I mean,
It was.
Blink and you'll miss it type.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might actually end up being in his favor because of how efficient it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never seen that
Yeah.
efficient. Of
But
it.
you think Trump won the debate?
I think whoever wins, much like Alien versus Predator, we lose.
Oh, sad.
Wow, let's think about that for a minute.
But
Whoever wins.
I don't know, America. We deserve this. So, all right, let's.
Because we made Alien versus Predator. That was not a good movie.
That was the whole Predator franchise. There's a new one coming out that's going to be good.
So
I'm not supposed to talk about this.
Alien franchise 1, 2. I honestly even liked 3.
Yeah.
Everything after that.
2 especially. I thought 2 was great. Aliens.
The
Yeah,
first
we
one
go
was
way
the
back.
best.
Yeah, it's
The second
Aliens,
one was
plural.
pretty good, but it's more of an action movie.
Mhm.
The third one had some interesting philosophical themes when Ripley.
Motherhood.
Yeah.
It was the motherhood mech.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the
No, that was the second one.
that was the second one.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
The only bad thing about the third one is that they killed
I'm a
Newt.
moron.
They killed Newt right in the beginning,
Newt.
Right.
which ruined the entire point of Aliens. Like, oh, we saved her. Oh, she died.
Yeah.
And they just mentioned it as an aside. Oh, she died.
As a side note, did you guys like Prometheus?
She died.
I
I
wanted
did.
to like that so bad. I mean,
I liked it.
I'm gonna say I liked it.
I probably like it less every time I watch it, but
It's just like stuff that happens.
think we said this-
Come on, you're above this,
I-
Mr. Scott.
It was so big, though.
I like big sci-fi that asks big questions. But if you do watch it, there is enough stupid stuff that happens.
That's the stupid stuff. Like, you didn't need to do that. Like,
I ultimately liked it, but I did not really like Alien Covenant, the follow-up.
I
Have you
didn't like
seen
that at all.
Has
I've
anyone
seen it
seen
twice.
Romulus? Have you guys seen Romulus yet?
Is it even
No,
out? It's not out yet, right?
It's not out yet.
Well,
nice.
spoilers, Jared is a time traveler.
Oh,
I just got back. I
So
got these boots.
How is
Good.
it? Who
I
won
got these
the
boots
Who
in
won
the
the
future.
election? By the way,
yeah.
Oh, I'm not supposed
save
to
that.
say.
Save
If I
that.
die.
You should bet on that.
Oh, the time cops made you sign
Time
an
cops
NDA.
will come get me.
Interesting.
Van Damme is actually a time cop.
Oh,
Strangely enough.
The Predator franchise never did it as much for me, and AVP.
No.
I wanted to like AVP. I love the idea of just taking two completely separate franchises and being like, oh, they're actually the same.
It is kind of a similar universe, but
I would watch-
honestly,
Makes sense.
Yeah, I would watch Sound of Hope versus Predator.
I like
Dude, that-
Sound of Hope.
That's a huge compliment.
What is that?
I'm gonna save that when
Tim
people
Ballard?
ask me, "What's the best
It
compliment?"
could become like a Home Alone thing where all the kids are helping to set traps,
yeah.
Tim
Yeah, they could do
Ballard
it.
versus Predator.
and the Predator
Isn't that-
comes
that's his
in
name, right?
and a
It
big
is.
paint can. Okay, it's time to now that we've covered the debate thoroughly. It's time to talk about what's in the news this week.
Let's do it.
What's in the news this week?
So Louisiana has required the Ten Commandments to be displayed in school classrooms.
Required it to be displayed. That's interesting. So what's your take on that? You go first so that I don't say
I'm of
something
two minds
stupid.
about it. Now, I came out publicly calling David French a turd muffin because he was like, "Oh, this is terrible. Thou shalt not." I think the title of his article was "Thou shalt not put the Ten Commandments in schools." But it was more about the smarmy smugness where he doesn't like attack the left for preaching religion in school, their
Yeah.
religion in schools, but
Yeah.
then he attacks. Like honestly, I don't know. Putting up the Ten Commandments in a classroom like probably isn't gonna like save our nation, the moral fiber of our nation in any sense. And I think a lot of times it's a little bit of an idol where we're like, the Ten Commandments are up in front of this courthouse, huh?
We did it.
And then it's like, well, yeah, but we're still like losing.
Like
So there's a
We
little
won.
bit of that. At the same time, it's like they're good moral laws for life, and it's not a bad thing if they're up in a classroom. I think.
Yeah.
So
The idea of requiring them to be displayed is kind of weird, I think. But, I mean, at least they're not banned,
Yeah.
I guess.
my idea is that the Ten Commandments are kind of written on our hearts, and we constantly violate them anyway. So I mean, if we have them, it's just going to increase the need to sin, like Paul says. Like I wouldn't have known what coveting was unless I knew that coveting was bad. So I don't know.
I think the kids are just gonna read it and go, "Well, these aren't on that list, so I
there's
guess
that
I can
too.
do them."
That's true.
Yeah, we know that's gonna happen.
well, the Democrat states hit back and they approved their own Ten Commandments. So these are the blue state commandments that are allowed. The first one is, "Thou shalt have no other gods besides thyself.
Oh,
I mean, that kind of makes sense.
Thou shalt not misgender thy neighbor in vain."
okay. In vain. What if you do it not in vain?
Well, that's
Remember to wear skimpy clothes and keep them
With an H.
holy. Sorry, I have not read these jokes in advance. I don't understand the skimpy clothes. Okay. Thou shalt honor thy teacher and hate thy transphobic parents. Thou shalt not kill the sexual vibe the teacher hath created in the classroom.
That's something.
You shall know every detail of your teacher's sex life for some reason. Thou shalt not attain basic literacy. Thou shalt hate and bully the straight white male, for he is the worst. Thou shalt not bear false witness unless it's against Donald Trump in the courtroom. Thou shalt not forbid abortion. And finally, thou shalt covet thy neighbor's everything.
well. I mean, I think as long as we have that and the Ten Commandments side by side, it's fine.
That might even it
Oh,
out.
that's, yeah. Teach the controversy.
Yeah,
Let people decide.
yeah.
Side by side comparison.
I like it.
Because in this case, though, whoever wins, some of us win.
Whoever wins, someone wins.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's the new tagline.
Whoever wins, they win.
Hey, but did you hear that Julian Assange of WikiLeaks was released from prison on time served because he signed a sweet plea deal?
Is he allowed to take water bottles from people like us? That's my question. As part of the plea deal?
Oh, I think so.
Is he?
Yeah, he got a sweet.
That's an
plea
even
deal.
better deal than the lectern guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess he pled guilty to conspiracy to obtain and disclose national defense information. He's like, okay, yeah, I actually did that, but
Come on.
come on. So he flew to Singapore, I guess. So,
All right.
but did he fly on a Boeing, you think?
I think they flew him out on a Boeing. Hey, check out our sketch on Boeing.
Man, that's a great sketch.
That was pretty good.
Honestly, it is one of my favorite sketches.
You say that about every sketch.
No, this one.
Name
is
one
brilliant.
sketch you don't like that we did.
And bleep it out, whatever it is. So
No one feels bad.
No, there's been a few. I'm not going to say them right now.
Not the ones you're in.
No, some of the ones I'm in.
yeah. So before we move on, the Julian Assange thing. So he exposed some important stuff,
Right.
but like some people in government are very just mad that he did that.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about? I mean, he did technically, take documents and publish them. So he technically committed a crime. But how do we feel about the fact that, is there a greater good in what he did?
I mean, you could say some of it was reckless and like that he's
Yeah.
actually releasing secrets that could compromise security or whatever.
Sure.
At the same time, he exposed some very important stuff. So I don't know. Mix.
It's hard to know if
He violated 3 of the 10 commandments.
So mixed
there's a
reviews.
whistleblower status,
Mhm.
right? So if people can achieve a whistleblower status, you kind of get into this protected class,
Yeah.
unless you make the wrong people angry, I guess.
I don't know. I don't remember. He has nice hair.
Assange is a nice last name.
And it is a nice. It's fun.
It's
to
very
say.
fun to say.
Assange.
It is
It
nice.
flows. It
Yeah.
really rolls off the tongue.
Benedict Cumberbatch played him in a movie.
That's right. He also didn't.
I like
What's
the
his
real
name?
better.
Played Snowden. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Gordon, that's not-
Oh, is
Oh.
he still alive?
Snowden.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Gordon Levitt.
Yeah, he's still alive.
He's living in Moscow.
He did that bike
So-
movie
Stuck in
few
a
years
dream.
ago. That's right.
Stuck in a
Still
He
there.
got stuck.
When all the Assange stuff was happening, when all that was coming out, what was that, like 14 years ago, 15 years ago?
Jeez,
before I was born.
Wow.
We were making like short films on
Yeah.
VHS back then.
And I remember really being mad that they were going after him.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, he's a hero.
Mhm.
But I was on Reddit a lot at the time.
Mm.
So now I'm wondering if I was completely wrong.
I'd pretty much anything that I get from Reddit and go, yeah. Then I'm like, nah, that might be incorrect.
Except for like some obscure troubleshooting for like, I have an old Windows 7 computer. How do I open the
Yeah.
toolbar? And
Well, I get all
Reddit's
of
good at that.
my moral advice from Tucker Carlson,
oh, okay.
and he's really angry about Assange
Okay.
going to jail.
See, it makes me feel like there's a libertarian tinge to it, which I still kind of identify as a libertarian. But at the same time, I'm like, sometimes they're a little.
But honestly, though, Tucker's
Frou-frou.
pretty well informed about this stuff. Not that I get everything from Tucker, but he is pretty well informed about these things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so when he says that Assange it shouldn't be in jail, like I kind of tend to agree.
Yeah. I'm certainly, I kind of feel your mixed reviews aspect.
I would like to look into
Kyle,
it. I don't
yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the hard stance by some even conservatives like Mike Pence being like, he should be in jail
I agree,
forever.
yeah.
I'm like,
Well,
Yeah.
I'm a little wary of
Mike
the hard
Pence.
stance on the other side. Like, he's a great guy.
yeah,
And it's like, well,
I
let's.
mean, I think we got to assume that it's still possible for governments to melt down and to need things like this. I'm with you. I can't say for sure one way or the other, but I'm sure it's not either or.
Yeah.
But what do you do when this isn't necessarily going to last forever, and there are going to be times when something has to be done that's going to make all those people mad. So the spirit of it. What's the spirit of it?
Yeah.
I think it's showing that something needs to be done, and you're not going to be able to follow the rules to necessarily get that done, right? So
yeah. So Julian Assange, if you'd like to come on the podcast and explain to us,
Yeah.
then we will.
it only
let
makes
you.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else named Assange is also welcome.
And then he's going to immediately
Rupert
leak.
Assange.
He's going to leak all our private conversations and
Benedict.
Keep them out of your office.
Benedict Assange. And actually, Benedict Cumberbatch, you are also welcome on our podcast and in any of our movies.
The Book of Jonah. I bet he wishes he had one of these when he was stuck in that giant fish because he was cramped, probably. Yes, that's right. This is a tiny Bible. Now you can take the Word of God literally everywhere. It's hard carrying big family Bibles around, but not the tiny Bible. You can even get a little handy magnifying glass that goes with your tiny Bible. Now, if only they can make some tiny highlighters so I can really study the Word of God in a tiny way. You can carry it anywhere. You can carry it in your pocket. You can carry it inside your hat. You can sneak it into an underground Chinese prison. Literally, the applications are limitless. So get your tiny Bible today at tinybibles.com/B. And who knows? Maybe you will get the faith of a mustard seed because you have the Bible the size of one. It's tiny.
So randomly, Snopes published a fact check this week. That
So random.
Snopes admitted Trump never called neo-Nazis very fine people 7 years after it happened.
Oh, because I thought he did.
And
They made such a big deal about it.
Yeah, that was from Charlotte.
I've got a shame to go
Charlottesville.
delete a lot of tweets because I was
Oh, no.
counting on that.
It is.
Shoot.
It's wild that they suddenly published it. It makes me feel like, is there a change going on over at Snopes? Or like, hey, we have to start like
Assange, maybe he's over there.
maybe Assange.
Well, and this is prior,
He has dirt on him.
prior to the debates and also prior to the election.
Yeah.
So did this accidentally get published
gotta
by
act.
some conservative in the group or something? Like
But
that's
check
what
the
I want to know.
spellings. No,
Some
that's
person
right.
is sneaking in.
It's just such a
Secret
random
conservative.
thing to publish.
Like,
all
hey,
of a
remember that
sudden.
thing that happened 7 years ago? We fact checked it.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry,
now,
we're just backlogged.
now they can say we correct.
We fact
things.
checked it.
Yeah.
Although,
Now that
You
it
do due
doesn't
diligence.
matter.
You give it time. Make sure that we really.
although when the
honest
Babylon
about
Bee published our article, CNN purchases industrial-sized washing machine to spin the news, they fact checked that immediately.
That's important.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean, one is more important than the other. So, hey, did you know that Americans supplied ATACMS missiles, and that they are being used to strike Russia? So Russia is promising retaliation.
Okay,
about
so
that?
these are missiles fired from Ukraine.
Yeah, but we supplied the missiles.
We gave him a lot of other stuff too, including all this money, right?
So maybe we will not record this podcast, as we will be living in a post-apocalyptic wasteland.
Oh, too late.
Oh,
We
no,
are recording.
We're alive.
I am interested to know how Russia's going to quantify our involvement in the Ukraine conflict.
Well, I don't know. They keep promising retaliation and they're not doing it. So
Well, I mean,
at some
Putin-
point,
mutually assured destruction is still a thing, right?
Mhm.
I mean, Putin's not going to attack the United States directly. That would be bad news for everybody.
yeah. What were the weapons in Dune where if you fired them at a shield, it would create a nuclear explosion?
Laser guns.
Okay, so it's like they have laser guns and we have shields, and
Yeah.
we're like,
Yeah.
it'll create a nuclear explosion.
Exactly.
So.
Maybe
Yeah.
it depends on how old he gets. Because that'd be an interesting way to go out.
That's
true.
You know
He's
what?
just building up to it.
Just
I have terminal cancer.
Taking the world
Where's
with
the
me.
red button?
Wait, did you mean David Lynch's Dune or the recent one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they're both laser gun.
Yeah. But I guess, yeah, Russia said that the United States had supplied the weapons and that the U.S. military specialists had aimed the weapons and provided data for them. So they are promising retaliation.
All right. Well, good. Go us.
Probably a cyber attack.
USA. Yeah.
USA. Yes.
All right, so this is interesting. Massachusetts just launched an awareness campaign targeting misrepresentation from crisis pregnancy centers.
Avoid anti-abortion centers. Giant banners.
Yeah, so they're saying they're putting $1 million into a campaign against crisis pregnancy centers, saying that it's misinformation for the young women that go in there, trying to convince them to get abortions. So to go to something like a Planned Parenthood or something like that. So this is Massachusetts. They just passed it.
So this is legislation, though.
It's
This
legislation.
isn't just like the abortion centers doing it.
Yeah, so the public health commissioner
wow.
actually
That's weird.
spoke outside the Women's Health Services Monday and said that they were putting $1 million into a campaign from the government to redirect people from crisis pregnancy centers into pro-abortion centers. And this is like kind of what happened. Remember a couple years ago in California where they tried to pass that law that required pregnancy centers to advertise for pro-abortion centers like Planned Parenthood. You
Yeah.
guys remember? Even to the they had to
Like you had to provide information.
That
Like,
option.
and it was
don't have to
even
abort
the
your baby,
font
but we have
size.
to give you this brochure saying that you
Yeah.
can abort your baby if you want to.
In case you
And
didn't know.
Yeah.
And it had to be a certain font size too, like so you couldn't
That
print
got
it like,
struck down, right? I
like the
think they
baby.
got-
Yeah, it
then
did.
was-
It
Really?
did get struck
Yeah.
down, but in Massachusetts that's not the case.
Mm.
They're trying to say that crisis pregnancy centers don't provide actual medical care, which is actually not true. Out of the 2,700 pregnancy resource centers across the country, there are 10,200 licensed medical professionals. So that's the actual truth. And so
I wonder how that's distributed. Like if there's one resource center that has 10,000
And then the rest of them
and
have
then the rest of them
zero.
don't have anybody.
another one that I
Virtual
support,
doctors.
That's right.
the one that I support has a real doctor, you know?
I'm just kidding. That's a joke.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying.
All right, well, support your local pregnancy center. Sorry, your local anti-abortion center. Now, Travis is going to play High Fructose. So this is a new game coming out by our friend Chris Quintero. Formerly, it was an animator, worked on Doom.
Dune?
Doom.
David
Lynch's
Lynch's Doom.
Oh, Doom. David Lynch's Doom. Sorry. Yes.
And not the one with Dwayne Johnson, the actual video game.
So this is on Kickstarter right now, and you can go support it. And we'll have links in the show notes.
do you think
So-
he'll be my friend if after this? Yeah.
Does he follow you on Twitter? I'll make him follow you on Twitter.
That's how I get all my friends. I make Kyle tell them to be my friend.
A free plug for our friend's product. Cool. Check it
fun.
out.
Travis's Game Korner.
Hey, Travis, thanks for inviting me over to your house.
Yeah. Do you like my room?
I do.
Yeah. So hey, I thought I'd show you this new game called High Fructose.
Oh, fun.
It's pretty cool.
Can I play?
So you start off by selecting a hero. I don't have any heroes unlocked yet. I mean, there's this cool elephant, who I think is a Republican. But let's just go to the fox, because it's
What-
the only option.
Political party is that?
The elephant?
No, the fox.
Oh. Do the libertarians have...
They have a badger or something?
Or is it a hedgehog?
Or hedgehog.
Oh. Why is it a hedgehog?
Because hedgehogs don't use roads.
Okay. Well, I guess the fox would be the green party?
Okay, so let's play as the green party.
Okay. And I'm going to choose a katana.
All right.
And, let's see, weapon selection, secondary weapon, ninja star,
Makes sense.
plasma staff,
Makes sense.
or AK-47.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, that's quite the progression.
All right. I like it though.
Obviously, let's
I'm
go
a
with
big
that.
fan.
All right, tutorial, slow-mo attack. Let's go.
Jump in the air and then hold down the dash button. Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Ah. All right, so here I am. Waves. Interesting. There's timer. Am I like waiting for it? Ah, what the?
I think your fingers aren't on WASD.
Oh, that'll. I know what you're thinking. Rookie mistake.
This guy.
Okay, so there's evil strawberries.
Aren't all strawberries evil?
Oh! Recipe.
die?
Yeah. Recipe
Oh no, you didn't die.
completed.
You didn't die.
Complete
This is
recipe.
just okay because you got 4 strawberries.
Okay, so I level up and get goods.
All right, so now it's my turn.
Well, no, it's still the aim. I'm still.
Okay.
I haven't died like you
okay.
pointed out. Whoa! Slow motion. That was cool.
That was pretty cool.
So this is like a wave-based game, or
Okay, so
is that just the demo? Maybe.
I think it's like an auto shooter,
The wave.
kind of.
Every time I succeed, I think I'm dying. Okay, now
That's
I
me
get
in
to.
real life, honestly.
I can upgrade Ninja Star, but I don't have Ninja Star. Why would I do that?
Well, maybe you can re-equip it or something.
Oh well, let's wings. Speed boot.
Because you're gonna get upgrades and be able to equip more weapons.
37. Or
But
can I?
yeah, just save your money.
Okay, I'll send my
It's
money.
a good principle for life.
Find barrels to find a random collectible.
Okay.
The typical video game fare. Let's see.
So for the audio listeners, this is a first-person shooter, kind of, and it shoots for you. Because these are auto shooters like Vampire Survivor and games of their ilk, but it's done in first person. And he's being attacked by right now are evil strawberries.
So what I don't do automatically is use my sword. I have to click
Yes.
to use the sword.
So there's actually a little more like actually activating stuff than
So I really like how this game looks. It's kind of neat too.
the cell shading.
Yeah, well, and the fact that you're just cutting open these
Yeah.
high fructose
but mostly the cell shading.
They call it tune shading.
So you need another strawberry. Oh, there you go. You got it. Recipe complete. Now you're going for strawberries.
Okay.
So what's the bonus for getting a recipe? You get like more coins or something?
That's a good question, because I wasn't really paying attention to that.
Okay, so you leveled up. Now you can do dash, legs, or or you have more dashes available. Dash distance, dash amount, jump. Dash! Oh, maybe I didn't even click on it.
Dash amount, feet.
You can upgrade your level up. I like how they don't call it speed, just
I know,
feet.
feet.
Level up your feet.
Even the jumping one, those legs.
Feet.
Ah,
Okay, now we have 112 coins.
I'm just gonna do plasma staff.
Oh no, you didn't upgrade the plasma stuff. You bought the plasma
So
stuff.
that's okay then. Oh,
Yeah.
and I could sell them.
Combine. Can you combine the AK-47 and the plasmas? Oh. Maybe you have to get something that matches. All right.
Tutorial
Oh, you
wall
can run
run.
on a wall.
Ah, just like a real
Just
fox.
like Neo.
Yeah,
And a real fox.
and a real fox.
And a real Neo.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering why Neo wasn't called Fox in that movie.
Okay, so now your plasma... Oh, that was your plasma staff.
Okay, so where's the recipe that you were looking at?
Oh, up here. So you need 3
Oh,
strawberries.
Okay, so there's
I can do it if you want.
No, it's fine. You're gonna get me killed. I very much like the sort of slow motion speed thing. What's funny to me is that they taught me how to do wall running, and there's no walls right now.
Oh, that was a bit of a tease.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I can do the trees. Take that, tree. That's it. So yeah, my AK-47 isn't like, I'm not holding it. It's just hovering around me, or coming out of my head. That's funny. I don't know why. Okay, this is money, obviously.
Yeah, it must be mounted on its back or something. Are you a fruit guy?
I mean, apples are okay.
I'm not a big fruit guy.
I'm gonna upgrade slashes. Increase number of slashes. You're not a big fruit guy?
No.
Do you like vegetables? Or?
Some. More vegetables than fruit, some.
Oh.
I'm
Life
a big fruit
surge. Oh.
guy. So
Yes.
it's health. I mean, health and speed.
That sounds
Oh no,
right.
speed went down. Oh, that was a huge mistake. You fool.
Oh no.
You fool. You've ruined everything.
Okay. Okay. Slow-mo attack. Isn't that what I've been doing? Jump.
It's
in
just
air.
another. It's like tutorials that cycle through. In case you missed it the first time.
Knowing me. I want to. Here's a wall to run on. I want to run on this wall first.
Whoa!
That was cool. Oh man. I need to like upgrade my sword.
Yeah, your sword's pretty terrible.
If only I had something other than a katana.
Oh my gosh, was that a mad cherry?
Yeah, there's a cherry.
Oh, you need a cherry for your recipe. Find a cherry, find a cherry.
Whoa.
Recipe complete. I just feel like you can just get the recipes pretty easily just by killing everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to worry that much about it.
I assume later on in the game it's more like...
It's more like, I'm going to
difficult.
die, but maybe I can complete
Ah!
this recipe.
There was a cherry. Oh, the cherries! Oh gosh, the cherries!
I like how the cherries are just giant eyeballs, basically. With angry eyebrows.
It's actually an interesting ontological question, like what is the essence of a cherry? Because in this game's mind...
Oh, I got juiced.
You got juiced.
Like OJ.
In this game's mind, a cherry is one unit with 2 cherries on it.
Yeah.
And it has an eye on each. So it's like one soul. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't it be more accurate to put 2 eyes on a single cherry?
Well, you're right, because they're technically two separate
different
fruits.
cherries.
And then the bananas are like, it's a whole body.
Yeah.
The strawberries, a whole face.
Yeah, they have
body.
2 different cherries, but 2 eyes.
And they just watch you. Like, he comes at you and it hurts you, but he's just staring at you.
So what'd you think of the game?
I actually really enjoyed it. Because it's a demo.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
know fully how expansive it gets. So
It could be terrible.
Well, I wasn't going to go that far. I'm just curious if it's always like a wave-based sort of roguelike situation.
I feel like that's what
Or
it's
if there's like a single-player campaign. Is there 64-player multiplayer
Are there unskippable cinematic cutscenes?
that talk about mechs?
And you can't skip the dialogue, and it's like learning about Fox's dark past.
I hope so.
I mean, Heavy Rain, anyone? Heavy Rain of Fructose.
Fructose, yeah. Heavy Rain was okay.
I didn't play it. Yeah. I started to realize that I didn't enjoy games where it's just a movie and I'm kind of giving minimal input.
Mm-hmm. I think the novelty was really neat at first because you're like, this game's like a movie. Yeah. But then you're like, it's not as good as a movie, though.
I could just be watching.
A movie.
That's how I feel about like Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Which I enjoyed Metal Gear a little bit, like the Metal Gear Solid.
Sure.
But after that, I tried to play them and I'm like, I don't.
So to that end, I like how High Fructose just jumps right in, and you're just cutting up fruit.
Yeah, it feels like an arcade game. Arcade shooter.
Hold on, sorry. Oh, my mom's calling me. Hey, Mom, why don't you just come in here? You're in the next room. Oh, no, he doesn't have to go home. Hey, do you want to stay for dinner?
Sure, if you want me.
Hey, Kyle wants to know if he can stay for dinner. She said no. Well, do you want to turn, though?
Sure.
Ha! That was a trick. Get out of here.
All right, it's time for Red Lobster facts.
Ba-ba-ba-da-da.
According to CNN, in 2015, Red Lobster said that 16% of its customers were black, 2 percentage points higher than the black share of the U.S. population. Red Lobster cultivated black customers. It has not shied away from that customer base like some brands have. Clarence Otis Jr., the former CEO of Darden Restaurants from 2004 to 2014, when the company is still in the chain, told CNN. This has been Red Lobster Facts.
Okay. What brands have shied away from the black population?
Long John Silver's.
I think it shied away from everything. Isn't it done?
Yeah. I guess that's true.
Like what? I would say the majority of advertisement has leaned in. You don't think so? Tell me why. Come on, Josh.
Pretty clearly, everyone's shied away from the black community, and I don't know what this is talking about. Maybe
this
I misread
has been
it.
Red Lobster Facts. Now it's time for Red Lobster Mail.
Ooh.
I have enjoyed Red Lobster for as long as I can remember. My most memorable meal was a special event in 2004. My husband and I had been waiting to adopt a baby for years, and we were finally selected by a birth mom. The agency coordinated semi-open adoption, so we would have contact with the birth family off and on throughout the child's life. They selected you guessed it, Red Lobster, an hour away from us for our initial visit. Our birth mom and her mother arrived, and we sat with them and our adoption coordinator. I recall the birth mom and I both ordered the popcorn, shrimp, and same sides. We all ended up laughing and enjoying each other's company, and all the anxiety was gone. The next day at work, everyone celebrated my birthday, but I was still on a high from meeting the woman who would bless our lives forever. And we ended up adopting another baby of hers 2 years later. Thanks for enjoying a special Red Lobster moment with me. And this is from Suzanne. This is Tired Mama.
Tired Mama.
On our forums.
Well, I hope she didn't accidentally adopt a lobster.
Yeah, that would be embarrassing. Yeah. No one's had the heart to tell her. Yeah. And she's got this.
She's
still to this day.
Come back with that lobster. You didn't pay for that, lady.
All right, this has been Red Lobster Mail.
Man, that's my favorite part.
Muchas gracias, mi amor. Love Mail.
This is an account called Gandalf the Gay. And we had posted an article, attractive female saying wokeness is gay-tarded instantly becomes world's most popular conservative influencer. And someone, looks like a leftist, shared it and said, LOL. And then another leftist quoted it and said, dang, Babylon Bee actually said something funny.
And
then
I actually thought that was
I had replied to our article and I said, please stick to making fun of the left. Thank you. And then this guy, Kyle Gay Pride, that's not to be confused with me.
Okay.
I think the funniest part here is Kyle Mann having the little Babylon Bee symbol next to his name, meaning he is associated with them. So he's just mad at himself, apparently.
I like that he explained that.
Yes, thank you.
That down.
Yeah, that's funny.
Pride. It's like the Bizarro world version of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
He's constantly following you around, explaining what you do.
It's funny.
So this was a tweet from Sam Garafolos, if I'm pronouncing that right. And he shared a Babylon Bee headline, Boeing honors whistleblower with special up-close view of rocket launcher, and it's got Justin Trudeau attached to it.
I don't think that's Justin Trudeau.
No, wait, who is that?
It's just a stock photo.
Oh, just some guy.
Like,
Yeah, it looks like Justin Trudeau.
It does look like Justin Trudeau and Joel Osteen had a baby.
Yeah, but he he said, the Babylon Bee usually sucks, but this one is actually pretty funny.
Honestly, that's the biggest compliment you can get, is when someone's like, I hate your guts. But that was pretty good.
You know, guys, that was pretty good.
You used to be good.
Adam Ford.
I really miss Adam Ford.
One, let's see, the Iron Nephew, ET syndrome. Babylon Bee, Ben and Jerry announces its ice cream is now gay. Guy whose head looks like a canned ham. And I bet it uses pronouns too. Bot. This is why we need Trump. Follow if you agree. Lady that drowned her baby in a bathtub in 1995.
What?
The scariest part is that it's true.
Wow. That escalated quickly.
It's just he's having a conversation online by himself is what he's doing.
Okay, so can we actually act this out with
Yeah, you
roles?
want to try?
So
Let's do
Kyle,
it.
can you read Babylon
Babylon
Bee,
Bee.
and then Jarrett, you'll read the guys who head looks like a canned ham, because that's, I mean, let's be honest.
Let's have.
And then you can be the robot,
I'll be bot.
and then
Okay.
I'll be the sad one.
You've been assigned the part of lady that drowned her baby in a bathtub in 1995.
I didn't want to give anyone else that. So
That was very good of you.
Are we ready?
All right.
Ben and Jerry's announces its ice cream is now gay.
And I bet it uses pronouns too. Good one, bro.
This is why we need Trump. Follow if you agree.
the scariest part is that it's true.
Oh man,
Got him.
we really got those nerds.
All right, so we had a joke. Walt Disney posthumously fired by Walt Disney for being white male.
Hmm.
And then someone shared it and said, every single CEO of Disney has been a white male.
Yeah, guys.
And then someone replied to it, conservatives are bad at satire because they don't actually have anything to satirize. They're the ones with all the joke fodder. LOL.
It's kind of
But this is actually making fun of a real story because
Mm-hmm.
James O'Keefe went undercover with a Disney exec who said that he's like, if you're a white male, we're not going to hire you or promote you. Forget about it. So that was what it was based on. So it is based on something real. Like,
But it can't be true because their CEO is white.
oh, I didn't see this.
Checkmate.
Aaron Rupar shared our joke. Oh, did Donald Trump share our joke? Oh, he did.
He did.
On Truth Social.
Oh, that's
So we did-
fantastic.
Trump preps for debate against Biden by going to nursing home and arguing with dementia patients. Donald Trump shared it. Aaron Rupar, I think he's a Media Matters guy maybe, shared it. Classy stuff.
So he's being sarcastic.
Yeah, I don't think he thinks it's classy.
No.
And then so an account called Totally Effing Gay says, know your enemy. The Babylon Bee is right-wing trash. Always was. Also rarely funny. Stick with the onion. Unless you're a reactionary moron, of course.
Like the people above that we acted with the right wing, whatever it said. I thought it said like they're a retweet group. You can cut that.
Yeah.
Dan.
That's no. I was trying to figure out what RT meant as well.
Yeah.
But you know what SOH stands for? Sound of Hope.
Sound of Hope.
So go see Sound of Hope, people. July 4th, maybe July 3rd, but mostly July 4th. And if you don't, you hate America and kids. Also, go to babylonbee.com/plans and use promo code podcast to get 20% off and get access to the rest of the show. And also, if you have any money left over from that, go help our friend make his new game, High Fructose. It looks like a cool game. Arena wave shooter type auto shooter thing.
It was a blast.
And you get to kill strawberries.
Well, I mean, people do that every day. They eat it.
You know, as we wrap up here, this reminds me of a Bible verse.
Wait. Do you have your magazine? You do.
This is Ezekiel 13:8. Therefore, thus says the Lord God, because you have spoken nonsense and envisioned lies, therefore I am indeed against you, says the Lord God.
Is he speaking to us or?
There's something in there for everyone.
Yeah, that's right.
So think about how that might apply to your life. All right, it's time for the subscriber lounge. We'll see you freeloaders next time. I can talk.